What's going on, people? So, got one of these older reviews that I'm knocking out here. You know, the ones about shoes that I bought well before this whole channel thing started. And so today that brings us to this right here, the Jordan 12 in the Master colorway, right? Now, this one right here, let's see, it was like ninth grade, so like forever ago. I remember seeing a friend of mine at school, right? And he had these shoes on, and I thought like, oh, those are kind of cool. I didn't really pay attention to shoes or whatever. It's just that every now and then you see something that stands out, right? And I do remember a lot of things from that particular year standing out, like I think it was the Grand Hill 2s and the Iverson questions, you know? Those were also in the conversation, at least like the mental picture conversation, right? But either way, I saw him walking around in like a handful of different colors of these over the school year, you know, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool, you know? I wouldn't mind having something like that, have a couple different colors, depending on like whatever I want to wear that day or something. Didn't think much of it, it just seemed like a cool thing to do. But you know, here we are. But either way, so many moons later, I came to find out that was the Jordan 12, right? And I said, oh, that's what that thing's called. I'll have to get one of those one day. And that day came, and I think it was January of 2016. I feel like it was January. But these were coming around, and I happened to finally start getting into like buying more than just Air Maxes the previous year in 2015, right? Because up until that, it was only the yearly releases, the Air Max 2014, 2013, you know, things of that nature, right? So when I heard this was coming around, I was like, hey, those are those things that I liked back in high school. I'm going to get a pair of those. That sounds like a good idea. And on Nike.com that morning, whatever Saturday morning it was, bright and early at I think 7 in the morning because it was New Mexico time, got on there, bought these, and was like, all right, cool, did it. That day, because I was in a good mood and I had just got these things, I did also buy the Kobe 11 Eulogy because a friend of mine, he was looking for those, I was looking for these, and so then he's like, yeah, man, you should consider these too. I'm like, you know what, why not? Let's do it. So I got those too. But as for these, right, obviously this ended up being my first pair of 12s, and you would think that that would make them maybe like my most worn pair. No, that's probably the Wolf Grays, honestly. I've worn these twice. Like once when I went down to visit my parents, and I happened to wear these when my sister and I went out to the outlets, and surprisingly, like when she got dressed and came out of her room, she was wearing the same shoes. And I was like, well, that's weird. And then I wore them another time, was it last year? No, 2 years ago when I graduated with my like master's degree thing, you know, because it kind of made sense. So yeah, these, as much as I like them, I think they're really cool, you know. I mean, it's all just plain black, got a little bit of gold here, and it might just be that they're my first one. Maybe that's making me like them a little bit more, but yeah, as much as I like these, I have not worn them a lot. And I also don't hear people really talking about this pair very much either. I don't know that I ever have, honestly. And I don't know what this thing is, but it did come with this card. It just says the Master Air Jordan 12, right? So that's in there too. But yeah, the one thing that I will say I wish I knew going into this purchase was about the sizing, because Jordan 12s are a little big, right? So a 9.5 Jordan 12 is going to fit to me like a 10 in mostly anything else. So I should have gone with a 9, and in some cases, I mean, I can even get by with an 8.5 depending on the materials and stuff. But you know, whatever, it's not terrible. Just wear different socks, thicker socks or something like that, and that kind of helps. But yeah, the Master 12, you know, I don't know if it's really one of those ones that people really care about a whole lot, but I do, because it has like, you know, some sentimental type of value in there or whatever. So there's a couple more 12s that I wouldn't mind adding to the collection, which is, well, really just not the French blue, what's that other, the Obsidian, you know, I wouldn't mind having that one. That's kind of like the Grail, if you will, you know. What happens after I get that? I don't know. I mean, I could just stop buying 12s, I guess, but I don't know. I'll figure that out at some other point. So there you go, the Master 12s, everybody. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, wherever you are. I wonder how much did these things cost back then? $190. Back in the old days, they used to put the sizing tags on there. And let me check this other thing out here. And yeah, so this was made in June of 15. So yeah, they would have been early 16. Make sure I had things right. So yeah, all that other stuff that I normally say at the end of the video, pretty sure I just said it. I feel like I did, but I kind of interrupted myself. So whatever. Later, people.